Hey everyone, here's another update. So I haven't loaded anything for a couple weeks because I've had nothing but problems. So it all started when I was trying to print more enclosure things and brackets and whatnot, and I kept running into miscellaneous problems, but finally got them all printed. And then I got some more acrylic at Lowe's and brought it in and tried to shape it, and some of it shaped up pretty good, honestly. But anyway, it's just not going to work. What I want to do just is not going to work. It's too flimsy. It falls off. Even though they're the neodymium rare earth magnets, they're just not enough to hold that kind of weight with any kind of stability. It's just not going to do what I want it to do. So anyway, live and learn, right? So I found another enclosure online that wasn't on Thingiverse. It was kind of off on some other website, and I'll have to include the link eventually. And that's what I'm printing right now, actually, is the X portion of that, and just to see how it's going to work out. So anyway, I was having an issue when I first started printing this, and kept having the filament bind up in the extruder, and it would pop the Bowden tube out of the lock up in the hot end, and it would pop the Bowden tube out of the extruder, and just having nothing but problems. Finally I found out about vegetable oil, so I tried that worked like a champ. So in fact we're using avocado oil, higher smoke point, but anyway, that's all I had on hand actually. So that cleared up the problem, but you're talking like days of troubleshooting before I actually figured out that problem. So then I'm printing and the stupid thing keeps lifting off, and I'm like, what is your problem? So did some more troubleshooting, found out that my bed wasn't quite level. So I went through the Repetier host or Repetier auto bed leveling, where you go through point by point, and then had miscellaneous issues, and finally got that straight, or pretty much straight, and so all was well. Ready to print this again, and over here on this one you see I got the light, and then all the lights are off. Anyway, this light, that light, they still work, but they're unplugged at the moment. This light here kept winking out on me, and that was irritating me. So I dinged it one too many times. It finally, the weld or the solder popped loose, touched the other post inside on the LED itself, and shorted out the board, which thankfully didn't do any damage to the board itself. It ended up just shorting out blowing a fuse, which was awesome. I'm glad they have the fuses. It took me forever to find it, but that's what trusty multimeter is for. So figured that out. So had to go to CNC, had to order a new fuse, and that took not a week, but several days to get here. And so just got the fuse in place, got it all put back together again, took off the old enclosure that I was working on because it just ain't gonna work. Started printing this, and after the bed leveling, for whatever reason, after an hour and a half after work here of troubleshooting, the stupid hot end was like 1.5 millimeters off the build plate. I'm like, okay, I just did the Z height thing, and it was like, making the paper rub really, really good. And I tried it again and again and again, each time lowering it like a little bit more, right? Eventually I just got frustrated and lowered it like 1.5 millimeters. And then this is the result. It's actually printing, and it's actually sticking to the build plate. And so I don't know how that got messed up. I think it had something to do with when I leveled the bed. I set the max height or something, set max axis something or other in the firmware to be 2 millimeters lower. And I did that because when I was doing the auto bed leveling, on this side it would come to like this corner here is like the first mark, and I'd be able to level it and get it right to where the paper was touching and grinding a little bit and all good. And then it moved to the next mark back here, and that's when I tried to lower it too far, it would say something to the effect of can't go any lower. And I was like, well, what do you mean can't go any lower? Yeah, I mean, I've got like 3 millimeters or 2 millimeters more to go to level this thing, right? So did some more research, found out that you can adjust that max axis the heights, firmware setting. So I went ahead and adjusted that and re-leveled everything, and I was able to level it. Everything works good, but I think that goobered up somehow the hot end height off of the build plate. I don't know why. So anyway, spent the last hour and a half getting that corrected. Well, at least where it prints. I can't say it's corrected. In fact, I think I have it too low now, as you can see from the nastiness here. Let's see if I can get a little closer, maybe zoom in. Yeah. So anyway, this is a direct result of A, being too close, and B, still not being quite level. That's okay, but yeah, it's still not quite level. It doesn't look right, but I'm going with it at the moment because I don't want to redo it and I'm tired. So go ahead and try to print this. It should print all night long. One of the best things I read about was that oil in there to lube everything up, especially in the Bowden tube, because there's so much friction in there. But anyway, I digress. I'll have to re-level this again and redo the height and figure out where that 2 millimeters is goobering up, and the Fahrenheit isn't wrong. But anyway, at least it's printing, and it's printing well. I mean, that's smooth. But anyway, so just letting everybody know why I haven't been posting any videos the last couple of weeks. It's just, one frustration after another. But on the positive side, while I was waiting for my fuses to show up, I did start a new project with the Raspberry Pi 3 to build a thermostat to replace, the manual thermostat that's in every new house. This one's going to be more or less completely automatic, controllable with your phone or any web browser over the internet. I mean, it's pretty nice. I don't think, I don't want to go edit this thing on my computer, so I'm just going to upload it to YouTube, so you can't see the pictures I have of it. But anyway, it's looking pretty good. I've got a DHT22 on there right now, which is doing the temperature and humidity at the thermostat itself, and I'm leaving room to have multiple other DHT22s. So like downstairs is where the thermostat is, so it's colder than it is hot upstairs. So I want to be able to read both the upstairs and downstairs temperatures and be able to open and close vents, the whole gambit. So this thermostat that I'm making will be able to do that. So anyway, that's what I'm working on, and I've got a good start on it. I got the interface pretty much done, the way it looks. I've got it's all in Linux, of course, using MySQL to store values. It has charting. It has external weather data that's coming in. It's got quite a bit of stuff in there right now. So I'll keep working on that in my copious amount of spare time, and then upload a video on that as well. But anyway, at least this is making progress. Hate being frustrated with things that you think should work. But anyway, just thought I'd do a little update, let everybody know how things are going, and I will talk to you later.